We cover a lot of games here on IGN, but amid the things that go and the people that say, it can be difficult for some of the most quietly creative games to be heard. Here are 11 upcoming games you didn't know about but should absolutely be on your radar. This War of Mine was a game that experimented with individual morality in the face of war. FROSTPUNK is its spiritual successor and scales this idea to encompass societal morality in the face of apocalypse. You're the leader of the last city on Earth in an alternate version of history where the Ice Age hit during the Industrial Revolution. What laws will you pass? Is it possible to keep an entire city secure and happy? There can be over 700 citizens under your protection, and each has their own name, needs, and family. How you keep them safe is up to you. Homo Machina is the sort of game that happens when developers look outside of gaming for their inspiration. In this case, Fritz Kahn's early 1920s imaginative drawings of how the human body functions. Homo Machina is a puzzler where you poke and prod a body's internal mechanisms, helping prepare it for a day and do all the things a body should. The controls are tactile, and each scene is screenshot-worthy as you pull levers to grind molars and swipe over shutters to lift lids. With their muted pastel colours and charmingly tiny inhabitants, the islands of Bad North look like they'd be a nice place to visit were it not for the hordes of Vikings ploughing their ships onto the shore. Your job is to repel waves of enemies in this real-time strategy game with one of the cleanest UI systems I've seen. Plus, each island is procedurally generated, so you'll have a different experience each playthrough. Eastshade is a masterclass in environmental storytelling where there's no main narrative except a series of compelling side quests that slowly reveal this strange island's history. Explore the dense forests and quaint towns, paint their inhabitants, and learn more about the world around you. Shotgun Farmers is not a game for those who worship at the altar of spray and pray. Every time you miss a shot, the bullet burrows into the earth and grows a new gun. A gun that can be picked up by the enemy you just tried to kill. It's a tiny tweak to online multiplayer shooter design that changes everything. The most fascinating part of Heaven's Vault is that you piece together its story by translating fragments of cursive script scattered around a sci-fi universe. The second thing to get all jazz hands over is its gorgeous rotoscope-esque animation. You play an archaeologist, accompanied by a smart-mouthed robot, who both move like brushstrokes atop the steadfast, immovable canvas of Heaven's Vault's history. Just what mark these characters leave behind is up to you. The developers of Semblance describe it as the first real platformer, and they kinda have a point. Most platformers just require a character to move through a fixed space, but Semblance requires you to reshape and form the platforms themselves as if they were made of Play-Doh. There's a story too. Bump, nudge, and squish your way through a soft world that's become infected by hardness. Way of the Passive Fist is an original take on the 2D fighter genre, swapping out button mashing for careful timing. You have no offensive moves, only defensive. Here, parries and counters wear down your Mad Max-esque opponents before they bite the dust with a feather-light flick. This design tweak means Way of the Passive Fist is also incredibly accessible to gamers with disabilities. Where Cards Fall is a coming-of-age story from some of the minds behind What Remains of Edith Finch. This too is a game about memories long past. Here, players build and collapse houses of cards in order to solve puzzles, navigate obstacles, and explore the concept of how we build our futures on the foundations of old memory. The Sigma Theory is a turn-based political espionage strategy game. You play the head of a chosen country's intelligence agency in charge of a cabal of spies. Deploy them across the globe and through surgical field missions, deceit, and diplomacy, establish your country as a leading technological superpower. The Messenger is 2018's Shovel Knight, a tight platformer with beautiful pixel graphics that hark back to 8-bit classics. While it pays homage to the likes of Ninja Gaiden, it's packed with creative twists that keep things fresh. For example, halfway through the game, the lead character is sent into the future, transforming environments from 8-bit to 16-bit like Dorothy going from black and white to full-colour Oz. Those were 11 games you didn't know about but should. For more indie coverage, check out Chloe Rad's roundups of the best indie games you might have missed.